Hello everyone, welcome to our episode Showcase on Bloodborne. Now for today's item, I'm actually the least familiar with this weapon compared to any other. It's Logarius Wheel. A wheel wielded by the martyr Logarius band of executioners, used as the slaughter of the vile bloods and caners bathed in pools of their blood, forever seeped into their ire. Transform released the power of the wheel and manifest the lingering rage and show them in utter brilliance. Now, what the fuck? This weapon's just probably the strangest. And you have freaking weird moving arms in this game, and this one's the strange one. It's a wagon wheel. Well, it's apparently a very vengeful wagon wheel. Whatever. Now, visually, well, it's a wagon wheel. It's two wagon wheels side by side. Yes, but I never actually used this weapon in my original playthrough, so the only time I got to use it is the second playthrough when I started to do this review on this whole series. So I actually didn't get a lot of time with the weapon. It's awkward to use, to say the least, but you'll see soon enough. But yes, visually it's a wagon wheel that looks heavy, it's supposed to be sturdy, you know, supposed to cart people around. But wait, you transform it and you release the vengeance. Red hot fury vengeance. So yes, when we use the trick formation, it now extends the wheel, gets a bit of a piston in between of them, or a steel rod. Not sure, would you call it an axle? I wouldn't, but anyway. So yes, so now it's dual formation, and it's clearly distinctive. Now, wielding the Logarius Wheel. Well, it's cumbersome to say the least. The basic attack is kind of what you expect. You'll be swinging around this wheel everywhere. Kind of using like a hammer, if you will. Looks awkward, looks like it break your wrist pretty easily, but does our character care? No. So power attack, you can see you can swing the wheel the opposite direction. So, and then with the charge power attack, you kind of do a little twirl, going with the whole weight of the darn thing. Then the light step back attack, you can see it's a quick bash. It's all this. There's no point me narrating this. It's just you flailing around a giant wagon wheel. It really is. So I'd like to mention, when you roll with it, it has a very nice roll animation. You can barely see it like turn. It looks like it's remaining completely stationary. Alright, but enough of that. Let's go on to the transformation, which is a bit more interesting. Now when you transform it, the weapon behaves differently, and I'm going to turn on my stats to show this. The plain version doesn't do this, but when you have it extended and transformed, you can see the damage is quite a bit there, or should I say the stamina consumption is quite heavy. It takes it in bursts, as you see there. So yeah, as the weapon hits in multiple times. But it goes deeper than that, because the damage of this weapon can be increased or decreased depending on what you do with it. So you can see it's slow, it's cumbersome, it's very irritating to use in combat, at least from my experience that I have with it so far. You can see all the moves are very similar, just mainly this bashing weapon, although the transformed version has multiple hits. Now will that do lots of damage? We'll see. Now, about that damage. When you do an alter move, you kind of spin the wheel, and when you spin it, the vengeance gets excited. Of course, you can turn it off at any moment, but you probably noticed it was sucking my health. So you can see here, the AR is 178. Alright, you got that? Good. I'm going to spin the wheel. Let's look at it now. Oh, it's 181. And now it's draining my health. This effect will be active for 20 seconds, but you can stack it up multiple times. There's 2. Now it's 184. So that's right. So we can keep revving this. And just because you back to back doesn't mean you're getting more, so you gotta do all the revs in one go, as such. So I would do 4 revs. It is now draining my health rapidly, and it's 197 AR now. But if you just do a couple, you can see it stops, and then you do them all again, it again revs up whole high. But keep looking at AR. It's 197, it's like poof, it's 227, as my health becomes a critical point. So yeah, it drains health. You get total AR at the end when you get critical health, but let's test that, as the wiki says does not add damage. We're going to test that. Alright, and finally when you switch back, you can see it does a little fancy swing around attack. Okay, going on to the stats and upgrade for Logarius' Wheel. Now base damage, you can see you get 100 right off the bat for physical. That's a lot. Well, this weapon's slow and cumbersome. Makes sense. Bonus, 46. Also pretty good. Also on top of it, you got arcane damage. So yes, you got a bit of arcane damage, and 6. Now, the arcane damage only is in effect when you have Logarius Wheel transformed to the Vengeful Wheel. So yes. Okay, durability you can see is 300, which is plenty. Attribute bonus, you got a C for strength, and a D for arcane. And attribute requirements, you're going to need 20 strength, 12 skill, and 10 arcane. So yeah. Now, this weapon's mainly going to be based in physical strength. The arcane's going to be a bit laughable in the end. But oh well. Now, going on to upgrading this weapon, you get quite a bit. You get 10 base damage, and almost the same for the bonus. For strength, anyway. For the arcane, you get 3. 3 on both. Pretty pitiful. But you can see the trio bonus for strength goes up dramatically. Because we're already into A, and we can easily get to S before long, but I ran out of frickin' bloodstones as usual. Alright, so you got plenty of physical damage. Arcane, not so much. So, as I'm going to be going this build, I'll focus on the physical portion of it, though I'll still be using Logarius' Wheel. And if you do want to, you can still add other elements, such as fire or bolt, if you so wish to. So having multiple elements is useful, but some people like to, some people don't. Okay, time for performance. Now I do multiple takes on just about everyone, because I'm quite terrible with this weapon. I don't want to dare to fight anyone in PvP with this. The main benefit of using this in PvP is, well, if you want to finish a fight quickly, whether it's your death or your opponent's, well, the Logarius Wheel will Knight you. So I wanted to test the damage here, so there's base damage there at 344. Let's keep that figure in our head. The 344 is the base damage when I have it transformed into the Vengeful Wheel. Okay, let's spin this up a bit. One will be done. We'll be fine. Let's see. Of course I would miss. Okay, and 366. So it's not that dramatic of a difference. Let's try it again. 365. So yeah, it's about that. So it makes sense. So give or take, the wheel gives you around 8% per stack, as we'll call it. Oh, vengefulness. Alright. But of course, this drains your health rapidly. And even though it does drain your health, you can get, the rally gets your health back. But oh no, the 4th stack is quite so heavy that I can't even whip to my opponent fast enough. So, base damage, plenty. Pretty good. Even when you do get a proper charge attack in, even though the range kind of sucks, still pretty good. You can knock down a lot of foes. The transform part is where I'm in trouble. Sure, it's nice, but it drains a lot of health. Just look at that. Just look at how much damage it does, but to me and to the enemy. It's a truly double-sided sword. Now, let's take a look at that AR damage. You know the one. So I got 480 right there. Let's take a look at AR. Did you see it just jumped? Now let's try it again. Yeah. Yeah, it truly, though this wiki was right. I've done it for about 3 times. That AR when it increases, does not increase your damage. So you gotta love that. I don't know why the devs made it that way. But anyway, so moving on that, to get the armored little buddies. The wagon wheel doesn't do a whole lot. It just mainly pisses them off, and they like to shove me accordingly. The Vengeful Wheel doesn't fare much better unless you really stack up the freaking vengefulness. So yeah, so you see it doesn't do a whole lot of damage there, so let's get a couple stacks going. Let's get all 4. See where we can go with this. Alright, we're all stacked up, guaranteed. Could do a power attack, and not really that much more damage, is it? And I'm rapidly dying. Like, really quick. Look at that damage go. Jesus, I can't even keep up with it. I gotta heal myself. I'm not sure if what's the kink of this weapon, but I'm not getting it. This weapon, I'm thinking, as some people swear by this thing, but I don't know. I read all about it. I've done a bit of research, watched a lot of people do videos on it, and I can't make the magic work. It's great and all, it does for the base form, but when you transform it though, I don't like it. It's so slow. Against other opponents, I get just left in the dust. It's powerful, yes, but I'm too slow to keep up with some of the basic opponents, not even the fast ones. Now when I'm fighting other fast opponents, I gotta be more careful. and I pretty much gotta ignore a lot of the other things, like using the vengeful wheel. It's dangerous. Is that I believe I can cause more damage to this when I have other weapons that can easily do just as much damage, just for doing 2 extra hits for the time it makes me to do 1. Pretty sure I worded that pretty terribly, but I think I'm getting my point across there. But some people like this weapon. I'm clearly someone who doesn't. I don't know, because after going 5 runs with the enemies, not once did I ever feel like I got a good run at all. At all in those 5 runs. Now moving on to the pros and cons of Logarius' Wheel, which I'll be considering the wheel and the vengeful wheel as one unit, because it's not really a full transformation. Just augments what you have. Now, on the pros, it is quite a powerful weapon, make no doubt of that, it's plenty powerful. And the stacks, if used correctly and efficiently, can wreck your opponents quickly. Alright. And the built-in arcane damage is okay too, even though it's only activated for the stacks. But anyway, moving on to the cons, the weapon is large, cumbersome, and slow, probably one of the slowest weapons in the game, arguably. I find the stacks to be more of a take than it is to give, if that makes sense to you. That you don't get enough out of it for using it, in my opinion. That your health drain is so dramatic. First stack is alright. Second, third, fourth, maybe not. So yeah. Not to mention, this weapon is also quite well hidden in Kaner's Castle and at doing a special quest at the end of that said Kaner's Castle, so a lot of players don't even probably get to even see this weapon, unless they specifically look for it. Okay, but now that's enough for pros and cons. Going on to the score for Logarius' Wheel. Damage, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Plenty of damage. DPS could certainly be better, but whatever. Reach, a 4 out of 10. Reach kind of sucks. It's no surprise. With bad DPS and bad reach, it's difficult to use. Animation, a 3 out of 10. I found these animations to be incredibly awkward, cumbersome, and often leave enemies leaving me in the dust. Very difficult to work around their patterns. Bonus though, 8 out of 10. Plenty of bonus. That strength is just excellent. Visconius, I'm going to give that a 5 out of 10. The weapon has its use. It's certainly powerful, but I don't know. For me, I could not make any good use out of it. I struggled with this all the way through. So in total, I give Logarius' Wheel 27 out of 50. It's good. Other people are probably much better at it for me than I am, but that's them, and for me, I give it good. And here's what it looks like with all my gems fitted in and plenty of strength. As I mentioned earlier, I'll be ignoring the arcane. So in full on with strength, let's see what it does. And that about wraps up this video. So probably of all the other weapons, this one I had the hardest time reviewing. Mainly because how awkward I felt it was. All the weapons I can kind of get the rhythm for. This weapon never could. Kept getting my ass handed to me by various enemies. No matter how many runs I did. Took forever to get footage. Good footage anyway. But that's about it is, and that's my opinion. And that's been Showcase for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and hope to see you guys next time. Take care out there.